Shaquille Agassi back here on the Hangout, giving you the scoop on hoops. And the scoop today is Rashad McCants. We haven't heard his name for a couple of years. We haven't seen his game for probably even longer. But he's back in the news. Of course, Outside the Lines recently did an interview with Rashad McCants where he buries Coach Roy Williams and the University of North Carolina's academic program. McCants, of course, a member of the national championship team back in the day with a couple other guys, Jawad Williams and some other players for North Carolina. But the real story here is they were in the AFAM program, and they didn't have to go to class. The school was taking care of their academics, and he's exposing North Carolina, who holds itself as a pretty high standard school. Roy Williams goes out there and trumpets what they do. So first and foremost, who's surprised that the University of North Carolina was taking care of the academic requirements for some of their elite level basketball players? Dan, I'll start with you.
It is a bit surprising.
It's surprising?
Well, I mean, North Carolina, the Atlantic Coast Conference does have a reputation for, I'm not saying they're the Ivy League, but they do have some academic, institutions to respect. But North Carolina did have some problems with this with a football player, and it's a pretty damaging story. It's very disappointing. It's sad to see, and it looks like the evidence is there to support what he's saying. Why he's coming out now with it, I have absolutely no idea.
Why, Sweets? Why now? What does Rashad McCants have to gain?
I don't know what he has to gain. He hasn't played professionally in a few years. He was acting, he was rapping.
Oh, that movie was horrible.
Yeah, I don't know what he's trying to get out of this. I mean, I think the football stuff was around the same period when the basketball stuff was happening, but I don't know what he has to gain now by blowing a whistle on UNC. It makes no sense to me.
Now, Vidal, you were a 4-year scholarship athlete at St. Bonaventure's University. You made a trip to the NCAA tournament, and you battled hard against the University of Kentucky. So you know what it means to be a true student athlete and to go through the process of not only going to practice and preparing for games and training camp, but also you managed to leave school with your degree. How hard was that? And what does a guy like you feel looking at the situation, knowing, I'm busting my butt out here in Bonaventure's. These guys are top program, and they're living a life.
Well, one, it's extremely difficult. I mean, your time management skills in college are what, will get you through. It's very difficult to manage your practice schedule, game schedule with your classes, exams, study hall, community service engagements. So it's extremely difficult, but I think what's sad about this is it's why, because you're at North Carolina, you are given an opportunity to attain your degree. It's a choice as well. So I mean, if this stuff was happening, you could have addressed it while it was happening. Said, Coach, you know what? I want better classes. I want to be engaged in things that are, conducive to what I want to do with my life. This seems kind of like, you know what? I'm Rashad McCants. No one knows me, and hey, look at me. So this is kind of his, step back maybe into the spotlight, and I gotta know why he's doing it.
It's hard to understand.
He needs his degree more than that because he ain't got nothing going on.
Now he really needs it.
Exactly.
Okay, I want to talk about Coach Cal, but quickly before we leave this subject, I want to just throw something at you guys. I know that a lot of people have concerns with the NCAA, the treatment of the players, and the rewarding of scholarships and money to players. Quickly, when big schools get found out for what they're doing behind the scenes to help those players, is that a positive step towards the NCAA restructuring, or do you think they'll just continue along the process they have?
I don't see any kind of restructuring coming anytime soon. There's way too much money being made off the players' backs, unfortunately. No, to me, this is just another isolated incident, and the NCAA, North Carolina might get punished, but ultimately the NCAA's, I don't think this puts them any closer to
There are
change.
no such thing as isolated incidents in this world. I believe that personally.
I do think within our lifetime, you will see some significant change.
All right. Quickly, I got to get to one thing before we go to break. Reports out today say that the Cleveland Cavaliers offered Coach Cal $80 million. 10-year deal, okay? He turned it down, allegedly. Turned down $80 million for what? All right. Good decision, bad decision. Do you even believe it? Sweets, we'll start with you.
Cleveland likes to pay coaches. We know that.
Cleveland likes to make bad decisions.
Security in Kentucky. Stay there, man.
Okay. Dan?
Nobody wants these NBA coaching jobs right now. The Knicks can't hire a coach. Cleveland can't give $80 million away for a coach, and Minnesota couldn't find anyone, so they had to go with their GM. I don't know how anyone can turn down $80 million, but he probably knows it's that it's an impossible job.
They probably told him they're not drafting Wiggins, and he was like, I'm out of here. Your thoughts?
You know this, man. Cleveland, I've got some of my best friends from college that live in Cleveland.
Shouts out to J.R. Bremer.
Tristan Thompson's in Cleveland. Anthony Bennett's in Cleveland. But Cleveland is the mistake by the lake, man.
The mistake by the lake.
I don't get it.
On that note, Vidal Messiah sets us off. We still have more to break down. We got to talk about a couple of things that Dan talked about. Flip Saunders flipping out in Minnesota. Can't find a coach. And a whole host of more NBA topics to break down when we return on everyone's favorite show for Talking Hoops, Hangout.